Hello, my name is Mark Crutcher and I'm a founder here at AppTrigger. I would like to talk a little bit today about how AppTrigger can assist service providers by providing a software solution that allows existing network assets to be leveraged to create compelling new user experiences. While NGN IMS has done an excellent job of creating a foundation on which new feature-rich applications can be built, the revenue-generating table stakes application of the legacy networks are overlooked. AppTrigger has pioneered the application session controller as a new network element providing efficient and cost-effective application connectivity. AppTrigger has brought to market 3 distinct capabilities, all of which leverage AppTrigger's Ignite application session controller that helps service providers preserve, protect, and extend their network assets. The Service Extender is focused on bringing existing applications to new networks, as well as taking new applications to existing networks. The Service Broker is focused on combining existing applications into a single experience. And finally, the ServiceBlender, which I'll talk a bit about today, is all about providing a way to augment existing network services with web-based applications. Service providers must figure out a way to stay relevant in terms of application or service revenue. The solutions offered by the traditional equipment providers, namely IMS, have proven to be long on hype and short on delivery. The not-so-traditional providers have offered up SDPs as a way for service providers to create new applications on their networks, but again, SDPs have not delivered on the promise of creating compelling new user experiences. Both IMS and SDP are huge infrastructure plays that require large amounts of CapEx and a large amount of time to integrate and deploy. As a result, the business case for these boil-the-ocean type strategies are flimsy at best. The service providers that have made the commitment to deploy these types of solutions are now asking their suppliers where all their cool applications are. This leads us to the crux of the matter. These solutions have failed to move the service providers past the walled garden of select developers capable of creating applications for these platforms. They have simply failed to release the death grip on innovation. AppTrigger has introduced the ServiceBlender, which takes a very different approach to allow service providers to open up their networks to innovation from a large ecosystem of developers. As I mentioned earlier, the ServiceBlender is an extension of AppTrigger's Ignite ASC. The ASC supports an abstract, service-oriented interface for call control and signaling, which is connected to a variety of application technologies. By extending this interface to HTTP, the ServiceBlender exposes a simple yet powerful way for web developers to integrate network services into their applications. Couple that with the appliance or one-stop shopping approach of the ServiceBlender, service providers now have a cost-effective, low-barrier way to enable innovation on their networks. The ServiceBlender is an out-of-the-box solution that allows service providers to host application developers to enhance, create, or extend existing network services. The ServiceBlender can target 2 distinct ecosystems, the first being the telco-savvy developers who understand call control, but don't necessarily understand the details of a myriad of signaling protocols, who can create new composite services which in turn can be exposed to the other ecosystem of IT developers who don't necessarily understand anything about call control, but who simply want to leverage call control type services into their applications. The ServiceBlender dictates nothing on the client side, allowing IT developers to use whatever environment or tools they're familiar with. The ServiceBlender does employ popular technologies to allow application developers to deploy server-side scripts if required by their particular application. AppTrigger's ServiceBlender represents an innovative approach that offers service providers a cost-efficient means to leverage network assets, remain relevant in the application space, and most importantly, increase ARPU. Based on the proven carrier-grade Ignite ASC, the AppTrigger ServiceBlender will prove to be a key component of the evolving network landscape. To learn more about the ServiceBlender and other application session controller solutions, please visit our website at www.apptrigger.com. Thank you.